Hi everyone! Today I am making a BBBE charcuterie board as well as one of those viral TikTok butter boards. I'm Anita from KetogenicWoman.com, where I share keto and carnivore recipes and other cooking ideas. I hope that you check out some of my videos as well as my website for those of you that are new. These things helped me to lose over 125 pounds, and I am still on that journey, hoping that some of you will join with me. For returning subscribers, welcome back, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. We're in October and it is the start of the entertainment season. I've already been to a banquet that was in late September, the last week of September. I was at the dentist the other day and she said that they're having their Christmas party in mid-October. For Canadians, this weekend is Thanksgiving long weekend. So it's here, and I know that a lot of people struggle with what can I bring to a party? What can I prepare for my own entertaining in order to have lots of things that I can have? And one of the things that I did last year is I made charcuterie boards, and they were basically 100% keto and carnivore. They had everything you could possibly want. All of it was good, and it's such an easy way to stay true to whatever plan you're eating. So today I want to do one for BBBE because I have a lot of friends and people in my group who are doing BBBE this month, and everything that I'm going to do today is BBBE compliant. I'm going to make a nice charcuterie board, which by the way is something that my mother used to call a deli tray. But it's pretty much the same thing. And I'm also doing one of those viral TikTok butter boards. And if you don't know what that is yet, you're about to find out. But before we get started on all that, I want to take a moment to thank the sponsor of this video, Element. So what is Element? It is a very tasty and salty drink that gives you the scientific amount of sodium, magnesium, and potassium that you need to maintain your electrolytes. I absolutely love them. My favorite flavor is citrus. Whether you are going to the gym or the pool, whether you're just going out walking your dog, I mean, you know, Element is for everybody, not just athletes. It is for people like me. What I discovered the other day, I forgot to take my Element. It was a really busy day, and I woke up 3 times during the night with leg cramps. It really only takes one package for me, one little stick for me to solve that problem. So, you know, if you're one of those people that it's hard to stay in balance, then Element is something worth trying. And right now, Element is offering this free sample pack. There are all 8 flavors in this pack. For my subscribers, you just need to go to their website, drinkelement.com/ketogenicwoman. That's DRINKLMNT.com/ketogenicwoman to get your package that is waiting for you. You can try out the different flavors or share some with your friends. Get it for your friend if you've already tried it out. This is also just fine if you are a returning purchaser of Element. You don't have to be a new customer to take advantage. So thank you so much, Element, for sponsoring this video. Thank you to all my subscribers and viewers who support my sponsors of videos, because that helps my channel. So let's get back to making the charcuterie board. Okay, so let's get started here. I want to first talk about the boards. A charcuterie board, you can use anything. I've got a variety of boards here. These are Epicurean boards. I love them. Most of you have seen my really large ones. I've got these large ones that I've had for years and years. And I have 2 of those. They're great for cutting. They're made out of some kind of a composite material. And what I learned the other day when I was looking at them online is that they do have a lifetime warranty. And I guess that's why mine have lasted so long. But these smaller ones are better suited for what I'm going to be doing today. But I just wanted to show you some different boards that I have. You don't even have to use a wooden board for charcuterie. I know that a lot of you have probably seen them for sale. They're everywhere now. I even saw a set of boards at Costco the other day when I was there. And they looked really, they do look nice. I do like the idea of wooden boards. So you've got this kind of thing, just a plain board. This is a really nice one that Sherry from my group sent me last fall. It's pretty nice. I like this is really good for putting, little spreads and other things in there, or even some utensils. So today, I think I'm going to use this for the charcuterie board that I'm making, and I'm going to use this for the butter board. So, but I just wanted to show you the variety of boards. As I mentioned, we had these all the time growing up because deli trays, which is what they used to be called. I grew up in a German family. Deli trays were big, and it was always, sausages and rolled up roast beef and ham and cheeses and olives and pickles. Those things are very much keto. Today I'm focusing on beef, bacon, butter, and eggs, BBBE, so you're going to get some ideas for your entertaining coming up. So let me get some of these other boards out of the way. Okay, beef, bacon, butter, and eggs. So I've got some beef pepperoni sticks. These are made from grass-fed and finished beef. I'm pretty sure these are BBBE compliant because they basically have grass-fed and finished beef, water, sea salt, celery powder, black pepper, red pepper, garlic powder, stuffed in a beef collagen casing. So they're pretty clean. If you don't feel like this kind of thing is for you, don't use them. I want to thank Marilyn from Spokane, Washington, who gave me a whole package of these when she was in town not too long ago. She's on the trip of a lifetime right now, and I was so proud and honored that she wanted to visit me while on her trip of a lifetime. So, so thank you, Marilyn. I've got some beef meatballs that I made this morning. I made them kind of bite-size. And all that's in here is 100% ground beef with some Redmond's seasoning salt, Redmond's. And I used a small ice cream scoop. I think it's a 2 tablespoon scoop to make them this little bite size, and took 10 minutes in my air fryer to make those. That's going on. I have eggs, of course, eggs. I will either make some bacon mayo, or I might even just cut them in half and leave it at that. So you could turn those into deviled eggs or regular eggs. I've got some roast beef here, which I dried in the oven, and they're crispy like chips. And underneath I have some crispy bacon that I made this morning, also in the oven. And I'm going to be doing something special with some of that bacon. And I just took out of the oven a few minutes ago some bacon roses. So bacon roses, they require just a little bit of a rolling technique, which you'll see on the screen. You secure it with toothpicks. And I baked these at 375 in a muffin tin for, I'm pretty sure it was about 45 minutes, but just keep it going, check it. keep it going until they're crisp, because the idea is we want to pull out these toothpicks and they hold together like little roses. This is going to garnish my butter board. Now my butter board is going to be made with whipped brown bacon butter. How do you make that? That is probably the only thing I'm going to cook and show you at the stove. It's very easy. Everything else here is ready to go, and we will make the charcuterie board and the butter board together once I have the whipped brown butter ready. So I'm going to, one more thing that's going to go on the charcuterie board. I don't know if you noticed that we have a dehydrator on the counter. These aren't quite ready yet. So I am in the process of drying out some strips of beef. These are short ribs, and I bought these from the Asian supermarket. They are labeled either hot pot meat or shabu shabu, and because they're so thin sliced, they're easy to either make in the oven or on if you have a dehydrator. So these, I don't know if they'll be ready by the time we finish, and if not, I'll just be adding them later on. I have 2 sticks of unsalted butter. Let's go make the browned whipped butter, the bacon butter, and I'll meet you at the stove. All right, we're at the stove. My pan is heating up. I have 2 sticks of unsalted butter. I had let it sit out, so that's why it's kind of melting a bit on the thing here. So I'll try to get it all out. 2 sticks is half a pound, at least how I buy it. Now, if you only have salted butter, I have made this with salted butter before. I just prefer it a little less salty than it was, but some people are the opposite, so don't fret too much. It doesn't have to be unsalted butter. There's going to be bacon involved, and bacon of course is salty. Okay, so what is going to happen here is I've got this on high just to get this butter melted, and then I'm going to turn it on medium, and we're going to gently let it brown. So what happens when you cook the butter in a pan like this, it will it'll turn into browned butter if you leave it long enough. So that's why I wanted to show it to you, because the very first time I made browned butter, I didn't let it go long enough. I mean, it tasted good. There was that slight caramel flavor that people talk about, but it wasn't as good as when I let it go longer. And so I want to show you what the actual colors look like as they turn, and then you'll have a good idea as to when it's ready to take off the stove. So this will take a few minutes, and I'll just get a couple other things ready while this goes. And we'll put a timer on the pan as well, so that you kind of get an idea. Does it take 10 minutes? Does it take 15 minutes? I never time it, but our camera seems to be able to do it, so you'll know by the end of this video exactly how long it'll take. I'm turning it down to medium. Like once it starts to kind of bubble and sputter a bit, turn it down to medium. And this isn't something, you can make this browned butter while you're doing things in the kitchen, but it's not something where I would leave the kitchen and go make a phone call or anything, because it goes from being done to burnt quite quickly, and we don't want a burnt flavor in our, butter is so expensive now. We don't want to burn it when we've used $5 worth, well, it's not, $4 worth of butter to make this. But for entertaining and taste value, this is going to be pretty awesome once we're done here. Okay, so I'm looking at the butter. Now this is about when I took it out last time, the very first time, not last time, but the very first time I made brown butter. And I mean, to me, I was thinking to myself, oh, it's browned, it must be done. And it tasted really good, but we're not quite there. We want it to just go even darker still. So I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's all these little bits in there that are starting to brown. Like you can actually see the little particles. It's going darker. We really want to get to a chocolate brown color in here, but not black. So it's a balance.
It's a tricky balance.
This is going to make an epic butter board. So you see how it's getting darker? I feel like we are at chocolate brown. And you can pretty much turn it off at this point, which I'm doing. So I will be pouring it into here to do our next step. So I'm just going to let it cool slightly before I do that. Take it off the heat. Okay, so I'm going to leave this alone for a couple minutes and meet you back over at our cutting or our island where I'm doing some prep here. Okay, so I've let my butter cool slightly. I'm going to pour it into this mixing bowl carefully. It's probably still pretty hot. Now you want to get a spatula and get all those brown bits. You can probably see there's still quite a few brown bits in there. That is our flavor. We are going to get all of that in here and try not to spill it like I am around. Just do your best. Okay, so I think I've got pretty much all of the yummy brown bits out of there. So before I can whip this, I really want it to cool and almost get like just a little bit thicker than it is now. Right now it's not really going to whip up very well. It's too hot. So we're going to put this in the fridge and start building the charcuterie, the BBBE charcuterie board while this is cooling down, and it should be ready hopefully in time to do our butter board. So I'm just gonna pop this in the fridge. So I've cut up some eggs here, and they are softer than what I planned. I've also cut up some of those chomps. These are the beef thingies. That's for my butter board. So, you know, it's really just a thing where you're just going to use your eye. And I don't have a good designer's eye. I know that there are some people, actually I just thought of an idea. I wonder if I could make something that looks like flowers with these. I don't know, this might be silly. We could just do one. It'll add a little bit of interest. Okay, so I'm going to leave this the way it is for now. I'm still waiting for the butter to cool down. We're going to come back in the next segment and make our butter board on here. Okay, we are back. We are going to make the whipped butter. So this has been sitting in the fridge and it's ready to whip when it starts to stick to the sides. So I know that a lot of you guys have made the browned butter and you pour it into those little molds and freeze them, and it makes a tasty snack that is Carnivore, BBBE compliant. And I've certainly done that too. But I wanted to say, I only recently started whipping the butter, and I learned that from a YouTube channel that I stumbled upon recently, Carnivore Twins. So I'm going to link that below because they're not actually twins, but I like the way they interact, and they seem to have fun. It's all about, so if you lean more towards the strict carnivore, that might be a channel for you to check out, because that's what they're all about. They do the more traditional carnivore. Like they probably don't use as many seasonings and spices as I do in some of my things. But I do really enjoy their channel. So I'll link that down there below. And that's where I learned how to whip butter. So I'm going to start that now. Okay, so you can see the consistency here. I've kind of whipped it until it looks a little bit like frosting. And I just want it to harden up a little bit. So I'm gonna stick it in the freezer, but while I'm in the freezer, I am going to grab a couple of other things that I've made that I'm going to show you. So be right back. Okay, I'm actually going to use these on my butter board for further decoration. So what these are is, let's see, yeah, these ones here. This is non-whipped butter. This was before I was schooled in the proper butter use, browned butter usage. By that channel I just told you about. So these are little rosettes, and they are made with just browned butter and broken bacon bits. And so what I did is I made the browned butter just like you saw me do a few minutes ago, and I crumbled up some bacon, and I put crumbled bacon in the bottom. It has to be cooked, like really crisp bacon. I put it in the bottom of one of those little candy trays, like little molds. These ones are flowers. And then I poured the browned butter over top and froze them. So these are actually perfect for Carnivore, BBBE, butter board. So they're gonna go on my butter board. These here are, what are these ones? This is why you should label your frozen things. These ones are...
Hang on. Okay, now I remember. Wait.
These are the same thing, except I put pumpkin pie spice in them. That's all. So it was pumpkin pie spice, crumbled bacon, and butter. And you can kind of see they just look a slightly different color, but they're the same thing. So I'm not going to be using those. Those are an acquired taste. But I imagine if you added a little bit of, you know, like if you're ketovore or keto and you added a little bit of sweetener to that, you'd probably like those. They're quite good. So I'm just going to use those ones today. Okay, so these are those little molds I was telling you about. They're in the shape of different types of flowers, and they make perfect little brown butter molds or whipped brown butter and bacon molds, whatever you want to put in here. I'm back. For those of you who have not seen the viral TikTok butter boards, you basically spread butter on a board. Now, I was thinking it would be more elegant to maybe put them in some little molds, freeze it in a little mold like this, or even in some couple of cupcake molds. Put that there, and then squish that down. But I'm not a TikToker, so I don't really know. I'm just kind of, you know, doing my own thing here. So the idea is you take your board and you spread your butter, or in this case, whipped brown butter. And people are now doing it with cream cheese and with ricotta and other things of that nature. So you just apply it right to the board. Now this will be refrigerated, so this will harden up a little bit. So we do that, and then we're going to take, I want the crunchiest ones. Yeah, so we're going to take some of these really crunchy bacon pieces. I think I'm going to use a knife. So the bacon is going to be our topping. Now, if you weren't doing a butter board, you could just mix these crumbled bacon pieces right into your bowl here, mix it up with your whipped brown butter, throw that in some trays like this, these little candy mold trays, and freeze that, and that is a really tasty snack. I mean, these are a tasty snack even without the whipping, but I think the whipping is even better. So we're going to spread this on top. We're going to put our little floured butter decorations on here. I'll put one in the middle, why not? And I have my bacon roses. So we're going to, now I left, you can leave one toothpick in if you're thinking people might want to pick up the bacon rose with a toothpick. I always worry that someone's going to bite into it and hurt their teeth. So I prefer to, I mean, they should stay together once they're done. So I'm taking mine out. But I think the bacon roses and these little frozen flower pieces, I'll grab that tray so you can have a look at how I made those. So now you've got yourself a butter board. So how do you use that? Well, this is where you would provide things for dipping. Bacon chips. I mean, you know, people can just dip that. Okay, people are gonna love this. Some other ideas. Obviously, you can dip these into it. You can dip your meatballs into it. You can make egg yolk waffles, cut them into strips, and have a little bowl of those sitting there for people to, you know, just pick up this brown buttered bacon, whatever this is. You can use pork rinds. You know, just whatever you can come up with and make that fits your way of how you do carnivore, whether that is just regular carnivore, BBBE, keto, even non-keto people, I think are going to get into this. I really do. So I hope that this inspires you to make some boards. I mean, BBBE is an extremely restrictive food program. It's effective, but it is restrictive, and a lot of people will do it for 30 days or even up to 90 days. And if you just happen to be in one of those 90-day periods and have somewhere to go, it's going to be pretty impressive. I mean, people are really going to like this, and you are not going to feel deprived because you've got things that you can have. So I would highly encourage you to play with this, and I would love to see some of your boards. Now, if you're keto, of course you can add olives and pickles and, you know, avocado slices, you know, all those sorts of things that you like to have, you know, whatever veggies. So it is so flexible. Now, I'm going to put a few links down below. I'm going to link to a carnivore charcuterie board that I did last, I think it might have been October, because it was around Thanksgiving. Canadian Thanksgiving is like this weekend. And also, you know, the channel that I mentioned, Carnivore Twins, because that's where I learned how to do the whipped butter. And they have some ideas there too for things that you can put on these boards. So just have fun with it. Like, who wouldn't want to have this on their buffet table? I think it looks pretty cool. So have fun with it, and I'll see you in the next video.